Good morning, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all doing okay. So I don't know if I've explained this before, so I'm just going to be really brief. I am on a voluntary early go home today. When my place of employment is fully staffed, since it is assembly line and factory style work, they actually, when everybody shows up, they're overstaffed. Because, okay, suppose, and this has happened before, that I suffer a vehicle breakdown on my way into work, or I have a flat tire and I'm going to be an hour late changing it. They don't want to have to hold up and wait for little old me to get there. So they have other people that are extra that know how to do my job. So in the event that I don't show up, they can throw one of them over there. And this goes for like every area, because there's 2,000, 2,500 people per shift working. So they can put that person over there. They can do my job and not have to wait for me or have problems because I don't show up. Well, anyway, so if everybody shows up, the building is overstaffed, and they have a rotating list of who gets to go home, and today was my name, and so I'm going home. I got a couple odd things that I need and want to get done with a few extra hours that I'm going to have at the house. Also, one of my children is at summer camp, and so I'm going to be meeting the bus and picking them up a little later today as well, which I wasn't going to be able to do, but now I get to, so fun stuff. What I wanted to talk about today was actually something completely non-political, in my opinion. It doesn't mention Democrat, Republican, or any policies. It's just something that I find weird. So, one of the podcasters I listened to, and one of the things that he talked about that wasn't political, guy lived in Florida, and the city or county, I forget what level of government had instituted this, like certain hours of, or certain months of the year, you could not legally have exterior lighting on or light that was visible from the outside at night. So you had to have your blinds drawn. You couldn't leave a porch light on. You couldn't have sidewalk lighting for, I think it was about 6 months out of the year. I could be mistaken on that. And the reason being was due to the baby sea turtles. They hatch, they migrate toward the light, and if the lights inland are brighter than the light of the moon, they will move towards the inland lights and then have all sorts of problems and end up dying. They will get run over by cars, they will get snatched up by predators, they'll fall in sewer drains, and all this stuff that just kills sea turtles when they're young. Now, here's the part about it that interested me. So, it was the kind of thing of putting two and two together. So, years back, I was listening to this podcaster / radio host talk about the exterior light restrictions in Florida where he lived, and about turtles and all that, and how he had several times where people had snapped pictures and filed complaints, and every time he had to comply with local regulations, and they had to come up with a light meter and measure the lumens or candle power or whatever of the lighting and distance and all this. It was a total mess every time it happened. Well, fast forward a couple years, and I was watching a BBC nature documentary narrated by David Attenborough, and they were talking about, just different life cycles of animals. The mating season, the nesting season, returning home, all the things like that. Cool enough. And the part where it really where it confused me is you have a film crew filming these turtles that will come up and lay their eggs, and then they'll swim off. The eggs will hatch later, and then that same film crew will also film these turtles running the wrong direction inland, and then film those same turtles getting pancaked by a Buick. Now, I'm not going on an anti-sea turtle campaign, and I do think that we should do what's necessary to protect wildlife and to preserve diversity of animal species. I do think that there are several species that get overpopulated and become nuisance to people and other animals. As an example, Kentucky, where I live, they do raise and lower the tag limit on a yearly basis based on Department of Fish and Wildlife data tracking animal population. So if there's too many deer running around causing crop problems, causing car accidents, whatever, they will raise the bag limit on deer so you can get a couple more of them on the years where there were exceptional birth rates or when the hunt wasn't successful last year, what have you. So I do think that there's, a little bit of common sense that needs to go into it, not just we're going to save every wild animal that's ever walked the earth and all that. I think there needs to be example in California, they have wolves roaming the streets in LA because no one's doing anything about them, and there's a bunch of food in dumpsters. But the way I thought about it is like, okay, they know that streetlights attract these baby turtles. They're literally watching them hatch, and they're not chucking them into the ocean. I don't think there's a problem with the sea turtle population. Otherwise, what they were doing would be illegal, and they'd be doing something to save these turtles that have wandered inland. I don't know what that would be, whether it's setting up some sort of an obstacle around the nesting grounds that, a little baby turtle water slide that shoots them back out into the ocean, a patrol that looks for little baby turtles and catches them as they walk inland and then takes them out into the ocean far enough away from the lights. I don't know what it looks like, but something to prevent baby turtles from getting pancaked by automobiles. So that was kind of all I was thinking today, folks. I really don't have much on my mind, but like I said, just something that I thought was a touch weird. Hope y'all are doing okay. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.